I better. Hello, hello. Welcome. Good to see everybody today. I'm so glad we're here on, can you believe it's March already? How did that even happen? How did that happen? How did that happen? So welcome, welcome. I'm so glad we're able to arrive here this morning and settle in and see all these smiling faces. It's always good to be back in spiritual community. I was away last week, unfortunately, helping my dad move into his new home. He unfortunately ended up in the hospital just before he moved, so no packing had been done. So my skills there got to be in use, so it's good. So welcome, if anybody's new. My name is Reverend Tamara. I'm the spiritual director here, and I'm so glad that you have found us at CSL White Rock. So what I would like to do is just take a minute of silence and just settle in. Just taking that breath, the in, I'm allowing myself to settle into that space in the heart, allowing my shoulders to relax, allowing my face to relax, just grounding right where I am. As I know that there is one life, one love, one universal divine mind. And that divine mind is operating right here, right now. And is operating in, through, and as each person in this room and each person online. I know that today is a day of going with the flow. A day of shifting the tides, allowing the sway of life just to guide us. And as we take this moment of knowing truth, that each person here and watching is powerful, whole, perfect, and complete, just exactly as you are. Nothing outside of us needs to change. Everything has already been given to us. It is just how much we allow. So today I step into that surrender. The surrender of life, and knowing it is all good. And today I'm grateful for all the volunteers who showed up early to set up, for our wonderful musicians that we haven't had for a while, Beverley and Chris, and for Michael, our sound person, and our greeters, and our coffee makers, and everybody else that shows up and steps into community. We're so fortunate. I feel that I am so blessed. So as I know there is no separation in anything, it is I am blessed. I know each of you are blessed. So I let these words go into that law of mind that is always there, that is always giving us right action. I let it be. I let it go. And ask you to say, so it is. Thank you. And as we start every Sunday morning, we take also a moment of gratitude to express our heartfelt appreciation for the First Peoples and their enduring love and stewardship of this beautiful land. It is with deep respect I honor the privilege of living, loving, playing, and learning on the unceded territories of the Coast Salish people. And may this acknowledgement serve as a reminder that at CSL White Rock, our vision is to create a loving, vibrant world that works for all. We are committed to moving forward with an understanding, a compassion, and knowing that there is harmony as we journey together towards a brighter future. And each week we touch on 4 cornerstones of what we believe here at CSL White Rock. And the first one is that there is one life, one source of all things. It is everything around us. There is no separation. And 2, that we are spirit having this human experience. And 3, nothing outside of us needs to change in order for us to be happy. And 4, we're here to walk each other home. This is where we get to practice. This is our community. This is where we come together as like minds and get to discuss and explore our spirituality. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Beverley and Chris, and they're going to sing our first song right here, right now. Right here, right now.
Thank you. Thank you. Please, please, please sing with us. Right here, right now, I'm gonna make a brand new start. Right here, right now, I'm gonna make a change in my heart. Everything I need, I now receive, and it's done unto me as I believe. Right here, right now, where I am. Right here, right now, I'm gonna make a brand new start. Right here, right now, I'm gonna make a change in my heart. Everything I need, I now receive, and it's done unto me as I believe. Right here, right now, where I am. One more time. Right here, right now, I'm gonna make a brand new start. Right here, right now, I'm gonna make a change in my heart. Everything I need, I now receive, and it's done unto me as I believe. Right here, right now, where I am. Right here, right now, where I am. Thank you.
And also, people, come and visit my table because Beverley brought some of her wonderful CDs for donation.
If anyone has a CD player still.
Yes, let's hope that we all have one. Keep it one of those anyway. Anyway, good morning. We go from go in, go out and sing, and then go in again. Just a good practice to have now and then. Inviting new people to be quiet, to quiet your mind. And I'm going to read a few lines which I read before, but I love the writing of Paul Ferrini, The Silence of the Heart. So through the breath here, which is so easily to have the connection with spirit within, through the breath of life, of love, of wisdom, of joy. It's right there. So if your mind just goes somewhere else, come back. Be aware of your breathing that is happening easily, effortlessly, naturally. Yeah. The door to the divine presence opens through your heart. It opens through your kindness to yourself. Kindness to myself. It opens through your gentle acceptance of yourself in any moment. It opens through your embrace of your experience, through your willingness to be with whatever is happening in this moment. It opens through your kindness and gentle acceptance of others. The door to your divine presence opens through your simple remembrance of God in any moment. It opens when you know that you are not alone. We have this friend within that never leaves us, never alone. If you want to find God, open your heart. And we open our heart when we let go of judgment, of control. When we surrender to what is. When we remember that the divine guidance is always there. We open our heart to more joy, and love. And we allow our mind to be quiet. Listening to the small voice within. Let's ask a question to this divine presence for a moment. What do I need to let go that is in the way of having connection with Spirit? Wait for the answer. And the other question, what do I need to embrace to deepen connection with Spirit within right now? And if for some reason you didn't get a clear answer, don't worry, you will know. You will be given the answers. So with great, great gratitude here for knowing the truth of who and what we really are. A truth that never failed. So bring a smile on your face. And welcome this new day. Opening your eyes. Namaste. And I invite Beverley and Chris again, please.
Little boat on the ocean, rowing along. Little boat on the ocean, be strong. There's a light in the harbor that beckons you in. Little boat on the ocean, be strong. Little shell on the seashore, washed in the sand. Little shell on the seashore, be strong. There's a wave that is coming to help you along. Little shell on the seashore, be strong. Let love take you by the hand, give you courage to stand in the holiest place, in the presence of grace, in the quiet and calm, it is clear. In the dark of the night you will hear love calling you here. Love calling you here. Love calling you home. Little bird in the treetop, singing so true. Little bird in the treetop, be strong. There are 10,000 people there singing with you. Little bird in the treetop, be strong. Let love take you by the hand, give you courage to stand in the holiest place, in the presence of grace, in the quiet and calm, it is clear. In the dark of the night you will hear love calling you here. Love calling you here. Love calling you here. Love calling you here. Love calling you home.
Wow. That was beautiful. Thank you, Beverley. Thank you, Chris. Calling you home. Diane's meditation was fabulous. Had a tear dropping down. Your song, another tear on the other side. And it's so funny. So my talk today is called Navigating the Tides of Life. I think Michael was going to put a slide up for me, because what we know is that change is constant. The world can feel like a sea of constant changing tides, and it's how we navigate these tides and stay true to our divinity. So the affirmation this week is, I flow in the sway of life. And I was like, oh, that's not sway, that's wrong. It's supposed to be the way of life. But then I realized that they're talking on a nautical sense, that the sway is actually the lateral movement when the entire boat vessel moves from side to side, where the waves come and push it through. So it's that we're in that flow, that moving side to side of life. So I loved how Diane talked about that connection, going in, that listening, and the questions to do the behind that affirmation, or what it is that will bring us closer, embracing us to the divine. As I'll talk a little bit more about that. And also I'll talk about that being on that boat, that ship, that life that we have. So it's always amazing to me how different things come up during the week when I'm looking at my talk and thinking about how life goes. And as I gave you an example, as I started out last week, I was going to be here and I was really excited. I just got to come and chat with everybody. I didn't have to do a talk, and I was going to do all that. And then my life flowed one way, ended up in Kelowna. Then it flowed back this way this week, and I was moving my sister-in-law. So, it's that piece of life where you find yourself swaying and moving and just accepting and being in that place of surrender of what is happening and not resisting. Because I can go into resistance really easily. I don't want to go to Kelowna. Do you know how cold it is up there? Oh my gosh, it's so dirty, blah, blah, blah. My husband's like, it's okay, breathe. And even yesterday, I was talking to a girlfriend and she was asking questions, and then I started this story in my head, and then I built myself up. So by the time I talked to her, I was like, oh my God, is this what's happening? And she's like, Tamara, just breathe. It's okay. No, that is not what's happening. I was just curious. I'm like, oh, maybe that's something I need to bring in, a little more curiosity about how I'm responding to life sometimes, or reacting, right? Because I wasn't actually responding. I was totally going into that reaction mode. So in this talk today, I flow into navigating the tides, and I flow in the sway of life. And every month we have global themes, and this month is about tides of change. So my first one is navigating the tides of life, and I think Reverend Savannah is speaking next week. We'll tackle the next phase of creating that. So another interesting thing I found, the first thing, they give us kind of talk ideas about what we can do to help navigate that. And the first one they suggested is creating a pause. And I found that really fascinating, because on Tuesday mornings when I do meditation, right now we're working through 52 weeks of a book called Pause. So the lady writes a little bit, then she gives us a poem to ponder, and then she gives us questions for the week that we can journal on and think about. So it's creating that space, that pause. And so what they're saying is there's a big difference between sailing blindly and sailing consciously, right? That's that pause. When navigating blindly, we often do it with a desire to belong or to please others. This new awakening is more of a cry of protest against customs, institutions, and established rules. It might be a silent cry to awaken our own truth and nature and being, our own humanity. So navigating back and forth of life from the unity perspective, we can flow and move from left to right, from up and down, and always be aware that we're part of the whole. Because we're each part, we're all connected. So the principle this week we're talking about is unity and oneness. And so when we take a moment to pause and breathe, we can remember there's the four consciousness, kingdoms of consciousness. And this is a different way of saying each of them. But with first level consciousness is when you feel like a victim. Everything bad happens to me. Everything bad happens to me. But then we go into the next kingdom where they say here is when you let our language, color, anything physical define you. So that's when things are happening. First things are happening to me, and then the next thing is we're allowing them to happen through me or for me, or sorry, no, Diane, what's the second one? I'm blanking on the word. No, for me is the third one, right? And then as me and through me is the fourth. Well, we'll get the thing that things are still happening through us, and I'll look it up. Bad minister, right? Well, whoops, no, take that out, take that back. I won't say that, that's bad. It's all good. Life is good, life is happening for me, through me, as me, right here, right now. So the third consciousness, which I'm moving into right now, is when I realize that I am the architect builder of my life. When I know that I am designing it, when I'm using my thoughts and patterns, not unconsciously like I just did, like how I like to demonstrate things for you guys. And then we go into the fourth consciousness when thought leads us to feel like a channel of the source. When we are on task, we know that flow is happening through us. So then the second idea that we talk about here is that we watch ourselves and we listen. So here at the Centers for Spiritual Living, we really talk a lot about spiritual practice. And it helps, and that helps us center ourselves easily and live a more spiritual essence and physically aligning our mind, body, and spirit together. So silent meditation and attunement, contemplation, these are practices where we can learn to carefully observe the noises that invade our minds. Like those words I just used before, right? Those unconscious thoughts that just automatically spill out sometimes. So it's when we can stop and capture those and slow down a little bit and breathe, because then we can stop the judgment and or criticism, but rather when we're in that state of stillness and silence, that's when we can go, okay, what is the truth? The truth is I know that I am powerful, creative, and I get to choose my experience right here, right now. And I get to choose it by perceiving whatever is going on around me, right? That perception. You know, when I don't know if this has happened in anybody else's household, but I was telling a story when I was up with my dad last weekend, and I was talking with him and my brother, and I was telling a story about something I thought happened in our childhood. My brother looked at me like, that didn't happen that way. It was like blah, blah, blah. Then my dad went, what are you two talking about? It happened this way. So it's interesting. The same event, but all different perceptions. All different perceptions. But let's be clear about this whole piece of life. It's about this choosing where we are, because it's about who we are being in moments that come through. It's about what's happening. It's not about what's happening out there, those ideas and thoughts that's going on, right? What I'm perceiving to happen. It's about what's happening in here. So when I can change my thought and my thinking, and this is where our teaching is so powerful, that if we focus on prayer and affirmations and visualizations and use the mental equivalent of what we want to have happen, we will get that. That will start to demonstrate in our life. Sometimes like that, sometimes it'll take a little bit longer, right? But the thing is, the more of what we're focused on, that's what we will experience, which can lead to that better life. Have you ever heard that saying that no matter where you go, there you are? Right? So we can't get to the place that we want to go to by doing all the same things that we've always done in the past. It's about shifting ourselves. Because when we start to shift, then we start to transform. And when we start to transform, we're changing the things inside of us, and then all of a sudden, the things outside of us have started to change. I don't know, has anybody had that happen? Where I know in my marriage, sometimes I'll be really annoyed about something, and then I'll do my inner work, and I'm like, why, Tamara? Just let that go. It's fine. It really, at the scheme of life, what is the main thing? I love my husband. And the next thing I know, I walk around the corner, and they say, hey, would you like a hug? Oh, okay. And all of a sudden, life has totally shifted. But he hasn't changed. He hasn't done anything different. I've changed. I've done something different. So if we want a better world outside, what must we do? Well, I don't like to use West, but what would be a great thing to do is to work here first. To work here, to build that better inside of us. I was thinking of this Zen story that I heard about a monk who's living in a monastery and with all the other monks, and he was really cranky. Kind of reminded me of myself some days. And all the other monks were they started to ignore him and not talk to him, and then they found out about this, a Buddha over in another monastery. So all the other monks thought, you know what, I want to go see this Buddha. So the grumpy monk goes, I'm going to come with you because I don't believe anybody can be as enlightened as this Buddha, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to come and see what it is. So they get on the train. They all go to see this Buddha. So the grumpy monk gets off the train, and he looks around and he notices all these young children that have orphans, that have nobody taking care of them. They're just running amok. So he's like, oh my goodness, who's taking care of these orphans? What's happening? How they're dirty and they're hungry. And so next thing you know, he starts to organize these children. And he gets them some food. He gets them a place to stay. He starts taking care of them. Meanwhile, the other monks have all gone off to see the Buddha, but he's still at the train station. And then he ends up staying at the train station. And the other monks come back to go back to their monastery. But he's like, no, I still have some work here to do. I've got to help these children. I don't know why nobody's doing this. I'm just going to stay and do this. 10 years go by. 10 years go by that he stays taking care of all the children and the new children that come off the trains. And then the next thing is the Buddha from the other monastery hears about this monk who's been taking care of all these children. And he decides that he wants to go meet this saint who has devoted his life to taking care of others. So he goes to the train station and he talks to the monk, and the monk sees him. He goes, oh, Buddha, I'm sorry. I was going to come and worship you. I want to bow at your feet. And the Buddha said, no, I want to bow at your feet. You have been doing the work here. So it's funny how that flow of life, that peace, where the grumpy monk went into the world, found something, that not even thinking that this is what was going to happen, but he just followed his instinct. He followed what Diane, that silence, it just came to him, this is what I can do right here, right now. And he stayed with it. And by changing himself, without even really realizing it, he changed the outer world. So then we move into flow. We move into flow. So when we pause and observe our thoughts, and we step out of our ego, and we disidentify with what we've categorized ourselves to be, a shift occurs. Our energy flows and empties out from our emotions and thoughts, which then creates an opening for the divine wisdom to live as and express as a state of oneness. This is where we can move into those last two kingdoms. So, and it speaks to us in the stillness, in that quiet. And it helps us, tells us those things, because the divine guidance is always there with us. It is always there with us. Ernest Holmes says, let's see, number three, where's number three? Number three. He says, it is not necessary, because we're talking about stillness, but he says it's not necessary to spend your entire time in prayer and meditation. Rather, to seek your work a prayer, your believing an act, your living an art, It is then that the object of your faith will be made visible to you. It is then that you shall kiss the lips of your desire. Your thought is creative, not because you will, wish, hope, pray, or long for it to be so. It is creative because there is a creative law operating upon it. Right? So we know that that peace, that creative being essence is within each of us. So if we take that time to listen and we start shifting ourselves and we take each moment and take personal responsibility for what we're responding and reacting to, or to choose to respond rather than react, that is when things start to change. And it's remembering that we're always at choice. And sometimes that's hard to remember. It's not always easy. It's not always easy because life is always happening all the time. And sometimes it's not always about stopping and smelling the roses. Sometimes it's about stopping and connecting with others, about coming in and showing up on Sunday and maybe talking to somebody you've never talked to before. Maybe it's saying hello when you're walking down the path. You know, you never know what small gesture of kindness that we do each day, how it could possibly change somebody else. So going back to spiritual practice, it's know that when we step into prayer, meditation, contemplation, affirmations, those are those places that change us within. So I don't know if anybody's noticed, but I'm doing a program. I did it last year, and we're going to do it again this year, but I've chosen a little bit of a different time frame. It's going to start March 5th, and it's going to be our 40 days of prayer, spiritual mind treatment, whatever you like, affirmative prayer, whatever it is that you like to call it. And we're going to meet on Ash Wednesday, which is March 5th, because this is the holiest time of the year, and not only for Christians, but for other religions as well. So I thought this is a great time, the start of spring, start of something fresh, start of something new, that we can step into practicing together. So we'll meet on the first Wednesday. I'll give you some guidelines. Then I'll send you each an email every morning for a prayer. And then we'll meet every Friday to check in. And I encourage everybody to do their own prayers as well. And we'll use Leslie Goodwin's Built Upon Faith again, as we used last time. But the thing at the time right now, it's Scott Aubrey, one of our CSL ministers, he said, regardless of our faith tradition, Ash Wednesday can be a good reminder to turn our focus to the divine. It invites us to release the illusions of separation and to remember that God abides in our innermost being. That's what Diane talked about. Courting the presence of the indwelling Spirit reminds us of our oneness with the divine and with all of life. It opens up our generous hearts and moves us to being in service to others. Right? Because that's a lot of our things that we're doing, is that we never know the shift that we make, how it is actually going to affect somebody else. And how, when we're in the flow and we try to stop fixing everything, instead, we take that time to be silent and we sit back and we're curious. I said that word curious. I needed to be curious in the beginning. If I'm curious and I listened and I allowed something to unfold, because then something unfolds that I probably never thought of. Something will unfold that that I had no idea because I was so busy trying to fix it. So this is where we can actually miss out on those possibilities when I'm trying to fix everything. So the great thing with this teaching is that we can use it to change our life, and yet we end up in a powerful place that will actually make a difference in other people's lives, because we take on shifting ourselves. And so we're setting a standard for others to follow suit, if they choose, right? Again, it's all about choice. So this week, my call to action is that you have the opportunity to remember to live from your unity consciousness, knowing within yourself you can connect. And you're always with that one. As Diane said, that friend within is always there. And it just even takes a moment of pause, observe your thoughts, and remember who you are, that you are the flow of goodness into life. So I'd like to each of you to think of what is one way you can incorporate the principle of oneness and unity into your life this week. Doesn't have to be big, doesn't have to be huge. But after my talk today, let me know how you would like to incorporate oneness and unity into your life this week. Because our unity perspective is, as Charles Fillmore taught, the metaphysical meaning of focusing on our divine identity. So as we move into this 40 days of prayer, maybe moving into this time of Lent, we can make the choice to give up thoughts and beliefs and emotions that keep us from being who we came here to be and be an expression of all that is. So with that, I will close off with prayer. Knowing that there is one life, one love, that universal mind. And I know that God is right where I am, and it is what I am. And God is mine right here, right now. As I entered into this consciousness of the divine, allness, this universal bounty, this perfect reality today, I know that it is manifesting in my life. So as I know it is manifesting in my life, I know it is manifesting in each of your lives. So today is the day to claim for yourself right here, right now, the wholeness, the unity, the oneness that is yours. Of knowing there is no separation and that you are powerful beyond measure. Remember the truth that you are a creative spirit having this human experience. So today, know for yourself that love and joy are your birthrights. There is no looking outside of yourself. Everything is right here, right now. So I know this for myself, and I know it for each of you. I know that the divine is operating for your good. Because God is good, so how can it be operating any other way? So let's release those thoughts and of lack, of limitation, and know that everything is for you. It is for your good. Every circumstance is for your good. And we might not see it in that moment, but we trust and we have faith and know that life always knows what it's doing. So it is with great gratitude for this teaching, for this time together, I allow these words to flow out into that law of mind, into that place that always says yes. I let it be, I let it go, and I ask you to join me in saying, and so it is. Thanks. And now I'd like to bring back Beverley and Chris.
It's beautiful, thank you. Thank you. To be humble, to be kind, it is the giving of the peace in your mind. To a stranger, to a friend, to give in such a way that has no end. We are love, we are one, we are how we treat each other when the day is done. We are peace, we We are how we treat each other and nothing more. To be bold, to be brave, it is the thinking that the heart can still be saved. Then the darkness can come quick. The danger's in the anger and in the hanging on to it. We are love, we are one. We are how we treat each other when the day is done. We are peace, we are war. We are how we treat each other and nothing more. Tell me what it is that you see. A world that's filled with endless possibilities. Heroes don't look like they used to. They look like you do. Love, we are one. We are how we treat each other when the day is done. We are peace, we are warm. We are how we treat each other and nothing more. We are how we treat each other and nothing more. We are how we treat each other. Thank you so much. You're in the band, you're in the band.
Wow. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sandy.
Wow. And thank you, Tamara. Pearls of wisdom. There was so much I have to watch it again. And I'm Sandy Seymour, for those of you, I don't think there's anybody here who doesn't know that, but if you don't, that's who I am, and I'm the board president, and I'm here to give you the announcements today. So, the first one is next Sunday, we have the hybrid conversation with practitioner Diane, way back there in the corner, and practitioner Jill. And if you haven't joined us before, this is just an amazing opportunity to connect with other people in the community, to listen, to speak, to just be. It's casual, it's lovely. I've gone to 2 already, and I plan to be there next week as well. And then on Tuesday, March 11th, so a week from this Tuesday, there's Evening Sacred Circle, and that's with Practitioner Live Online. And you can sign up for that through our website. And then on March 16th, unfortunately I'll miss it this month, but it's our potluck. And I encourage everybody to come, and you know what? If you don't have anything to bring, your presence is our gift, right? We don't need anything other than you to be here and join us. And then the last thing I want to tell you about, which you've probably maybe getting tired of hearing about, but we do have the membership drive that we have going on right now, and we have about 19 people who have registered, but I know there are more out there who want to be members, and so I encourage you to do that before the 15th. And the reason for that is so that we can have an idea of what the quorum needs to be for the AGM. We also need to send out packages to you, and we'll be doing that on March 16th. The package will include the agenda, the minutes of the previous meeting, and a proxy form. So it's not like you can't register after that. You can. It's just that it makes it easier for us if you do it by the 15th. So there are forms at the welcome table that you can fill out if you want to, or you can register online. Okay? And if you have any questions, do ask me, or you can ask any of the other members of the board. And now I would like to ask Reverend Tamara. She has a few words to say about a couple of things, right? Yes.
Me with just a few words? Oh my goodness. We also have our AGM coming up as well. So that will be, as Sandy said, so that's going to be on the 30th. And I'm hoping that we'll have a bit of time at the end of the AGM for any question and answer period. Oh yeah, there's pizza. There's going to be pizza for all our members who sign up. So there's there's a reason to sign up and get some pizza. I mean, hey, there we are. And then again, I've already talked about my 40 days of prayer in my talk, but I really highly encourage you to sign up and join. It'll take you 10, 15 minutes a day, if that, to practice prayer. And that is right now in this world, there's so much going on. I know I didn't talk about the things that happened in the news this week. And, I think it's any time that we can get more prayer happening for ourselves and for others, it's going to change the planet. As I said in my talk, we start here and we can shift the world. So I really highly encourage you. It's a free program that I'm offering. I'm putting a bit of work into, so I would love to have more people sign up and participate with me. And I'm curious, does anybody have a birthday today? Last week? Anybody in March? Oh, your mother, okay. I got three hands, Sandy, Lyndon, and oh my goodness, I'm sorry, I forgot. Pat? Thank you, Pat. Sandy, do you want to? These are the board. We've started to get the Science of Mind magazine in. Jill was so kind to get us doing that. So that is the end of our announcements. So now it is our time to be grateful. Yay, I love being grateful. It's to acknowledge our gratitude for this loving community. And it's our opportunity to participate in the spiritual practice of giving. So if it feels right for you, I'd invite you to take the gift that you're going to be giving today, or maybe it's your monthly donation that you do online. Just hold your hand to your heart. And maybe you offer your time and treasure or talent as well. And just know that how much this community appreciates your gifts. As we say thank you, thank you, thank you to ourselves and to everyone else. And now I'd like you to know a specific good for yourself. Because again, we've got to start with the inner. And I encourage you to know a specific good for the world. So with this, I'd like us to say our affirmation. I think the slide's coming up. Yep, there it is. This gift I give is spirit in action. I give it in joy. I give it in love. I give it with a completely open heart and mind. I know with great gratitude there is abundance for everyone. I am so blessed. So now I'll ask the ushers to pass their baskets, and I think Beverley and Chris are gonna, oh, excellent. Thank you. While we're doing that. And everybody online, Pamela will put in how you can make contributions or donations, and just for every gift matters. It helps us.
Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This beautiful, this beautiful, this beautiful day. Beautiful, this beautiful, this beautiful day. Thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my friends. Thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Healing, this healing, this healing day. One more. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day.
Woo! Thank you. Beverley, what are you guys, I know we have a few more things to do here, but while you're just standing there, how can we support you and your music? I know both you and Chris you do lots of different things. You're acting, you're also at Unity, you're the coordinator there for the music. You teach acting as well as, some of you might know, she was Granny in Once Upon a Time on a series. And Hallmark Christmas. And you even, I just saw that you even acted with Gene Hackman.
I did.
Wow.
What a beautiful man. He was
Yeah.
amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, and Chris is an actor in his own right. He does lots of, I don't know what. Hallmarks, and yeah. Okay. Oh, okay, okay. 12 times. Wow. See, he's yeah, wow. On, yeah.
I've been blown up, I've been shot, I've been decapitated, I've had a throwing star to my head, I've had my soul sucked out of my body.
Wow.
My wife dropped a Chevy on me.
Oh, dear.
So there we go.
Wow, he has lots of practice. Oh, my goodness. Thank you. And also, Beverley just told me you're going to be
You're
doing.
gonna tell it.
Oh, no, you tell.
I did a TED Talk in January. I did a TEDx talk on the power of storytelling. So it's not out yet. It will
Okay.
be. I think they released some on YouTube, but watch for that. And yeah, I know, exactly. I think you just go to TEDx and then you put in my name or you put in storytelling.
Okay,
Yeah.
if we
yeah.
do that. And you also, do you think maybe you might put a link on your website? I know you have a great website.
Yes, I will put a link on my website, and I'm going to do some storytelling workshops for people that are interested in writing a little bit.
Oh, okay.
So watch for that. I'll send a link here when I book that for sure.
Okay,
Yeah.
great.
Yeah,
Well,
and
thank
I'm
you.
in the next episode of Tracker, I think,
Okay.
coming up. If anybody watches that show.
Oh,
It was TEDx Surrey. that I
TEDx
did.
Surrey.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
okay.
a really great group of people. Yeah.
Excellent.
Alan
Oh,
Wolverton. Yeah.
Yay. Thank you. Well, so thank you to our musicians, and we're thanking everybody for their gifts as we offer this blessing right now, as we bless these gifts, the givers and the receivers, and this wonderful, wonderful spiritual community. I know that these gifts make a difference right here by allowing us to have these fabulous musicians, as well as this wonderful building here at Brella. And they make a difference to our community in many different ways. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And bless, bless, bless is all is good. So I also want you to know today that I pulled a joy blessing. And of course, actually, it's so funny. This was one of my quotes that I had in my talk that I didn't actually say. So I get to say it now by Dr. Holmes. Where the mind goes, energy flows. So this is your joy blessing for you online, everyone. And thank you again for all your contributions, our online people. Your energy is felt here in the room as we see you. So as that is it, is everybody would like to stand up for our final affirmation? Oh, sorry. There's a very important piece, very, very important that I almost forgot. You see these two beautiful women here? They are what we call prayer practitioners, and they are willing to pray with you after service today, and I'm also available. So ask one of the three of us if you want, if there's something in your life that maybe you'd just like to shift a little, that you need a little help with, or even if there's something really going well and you want a bit more of that. Prayer is always good. And Pamela, hello. Pamela will be our online practitioner for everybody online. So I'm so blessed. Everybody helps me. Thank goodness. Thank you, Pamela. So now it's time to stand up and say our final affirmation. So everybody repeat after me. Something wonderful is happening in me right now.
Something wonderful is happening in me right now.
It's this thing called life.
It's this thing called life.
It's this thing called love.
This thing called love.
It's this thing called unity. I know it. I feel it. I express it. I am it. And so it is. And I turn it back over to Chris and Beverley. Thanks, everyone.
Okay, stay standing and let's sing together. It's coming, yeah. Okay.
Oh.
Okay, yeah. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release, I let go. Let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release, I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Yes, I'm only here for God. Yes, I'm only here for God.
Woo! Thank you, everyone. Have a great day. Thank you, everybody online, for coming in. And Beverly and Chris, oh my gosh, I can't wait till you come back. We got to book you again. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Thanks so much. So great. So bye, everybody online. Great seeing you. Have a fabulous day, and we'll see you next Sunday. Bye, everybody.